Welcome back to the Expansion Edit. We are here for episode 11, Thought Leader or Legacy Builder, and how to know which one you're becoming, because becoming known isn't the same as being remembered. Let's be blunt. Hot takes don't build companies. Thought leadership looks shiny online, the viral post, the clever one-liner, the speech that gets applause in the room. But here's the catch. Visibility doesn't always equal impact. Being a thought leader gets you attention. Being a legacy builder gets you remembered. And there's a canyon of difference between the two. Today, we're cutting into that canyon. We're going to talk about the seductive pull of thought leadership, why it often leaves founders exhausted or hollow, and what it takes to move into the slower, heavier, infinitely more rewarding lane of legacy building. Because the truth is, one makes you popular, the other makes you timeless. So let's talk about the rise of thought leadership. Scroll any of your socials, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, 5 minutes, and you'll see it everywhere. The thought leader archetype. It's the new business celebrity. Constant content, strong opinions, personal brand dialed up to 11. And to be fair, it works, at least on the surface. It wins attention, it boosts the algorithmic reach, and it gets you on panels, podcasts, and the top 40 under 40 lists. But popularity isn't the same as permanence. Thought leadership is often about being seen. Legacy building is about what happens after you're gone from the room. So think about if thought leadership is fireworks. Legacy is the fire pit, steady heat, long after the sparks fade. So why is thought leadership not enough? Well, here's the problem. When we rely on thought leadership as your growth engine, it burns fast. Trends shift, platforms change, and today's viral star becomes tomorrow's who? 2, it's shallow by design. Hot takes work in like 280 characters, but depth doesn't. And without depth, nothing holds. 3, it creates a hamster wheel. If your influence only lasts as long as your next post, you're trapped producing, not leading. So what's the result? A business that looks visible, but feels fragile. A founder who's known, but not trusted. And a voice that's heard, but not heeded when it matters most. So, your first reflection prompt. If you stopped posting or sharing or speaking or just being visible out there for 60 days, would your impact disappear? Or would your influence still echo in the rooms that matter? So let's talk about legacy building. What is it? Legacy building isn't sexy in the moment. It rarely goes viral, but it sticks. Legacy builders think long-term. They're not just shaping ideas. They're shaping infrastructure, teams, bodies of work, things that outlive them. And it looks like building a methodology that others can carry, embedding culture into the team so that it survives without you, creating assets, intellectual property, systems that have compounding impact. Thought leadership is planting flowers for Instagram. Legacy building is planting oak trees for your grandchildren to sit under. Every founder hits a crossroads. On one side, we've got the thrill of being a thought leader, immediate recognition, applause, the dopamine of likes and shares. And on the other, we have the slower, heavier work of legacy. Fewer fireworks, but deeper roots. Most never pause long enough to realize that they've chosen the first by default. And then they wonder why their influence feels temporary. The identity shift from thought leader to legacy builder requires us asking, who am I trying to impress? And who am I trying to impact? Here's what doesn't get talked about. Legacy building is heavy. It requires capacity, the energetic margin to create work that lasts, and it requires character, the patience and clarity to stay aligned when faster, easier visibility options beckon. A founder running on fumes doesn't build legacy. They chase likes or attention because it's easier than building infrastructure. So if your influence had to live without you for a year, what would hold? What would crumble? The markets can tell the difference. Clients, peers, partners, they all feel it. With a thought leader, the attraction is charisma. With a legacy builder, the attraction is credibility. Charisma wins quick contracts. Credibility builds decade-long partnerships. Your market knows whether you're running on fireworks or fire pit fuel, and they respond accordingly. Thought leadership fills the room with noise. Legacy fills the room with gravity. So how do you check whether you're building noise or building something that lasts? Here are 3 quick guardrails for you. 1, volume versus value. Is my focus on producing more or deepening what already exists? 2, performance versus permanence. Am I chasing applause or building something my team and clients can use tomorrow? 3, ego versus ecosystem. Is this about me being visible or about the work living beyond me? Guardrails don't limit your influence. They protect it. So I'm going to offer you a simple experiment. For the next 30 days, before you commit to any visibility action, speaking, launching, posting, any kind of campaign, any kind of publicity, I want you to ask one question. Does this build my legacy or just my feed? If it builds your legacy, do it. If it just builds your feed, pause. At the end of 30 days, you're going to see the difference. The noise quiets, the impact compounds. Being known is easy. Anyone with a Wi-Fi connection and enough nerve can be known. Being remembered requires depth. It requires consistency. It requires alignment with a bigger vision than your own name. The founders who become remembered aren't the loudest. They're the ones whose work, words, and structures keep echoing even when they stop talking. So what's one thing that you can build this year that would still create value if you disappeared for the next 5? Here's the truth. You don't have to choose visibility or legacy, but you do have to decide what matters more. Thought leadership might get you noticed. Legacy building will get you remembered. Am I chasing recognition or am I creating resonance? This is the expansion edit. We're going to close the season next time with the clarity activation, your next right step without burning it all down. And it's going to be a synthesis of everything that we've covered and an invitation to build your next chapter with alignment, strategy, and energy that actually sustains you. I look forward to seeing you there.